Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome to our Libra reading for February 2025. This is going to be for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided to a reading, and you may not know if you have a certain sign you're like in your chart, but you feel guided to it. That your spirit guide's just nudging you towards probably messages that you probably need to hear, but probably want to hear at the same time. I say that because I read through my spirit guides who connect to your guides. Um, that's why one reading can really resonate with so many people. You could certainly be in love with a Libra, platonically, romantically. I have a lot of Libra love in my life. Starting with it's funny, I want to call my grandson, my nephew. Um, It's weird I wanted to call him my grandson. Anyway, Sean, which many of you have heard me talk about, is right on the cusp of Virgo and Leo or Libra. He is September 24th. My gorgeous and talented granddaughter, not that Sean's not also talented, he's full of talent. They both are. Lily, who is October 14th, who's becoming a young adult now. Crazy. My sister, who is Sean's mom, who has crossed over. She was October 15th. I always feel her in, in our readings, always. Um, I feel like she's one of, well, I want to say our strongest guides during your readings. Yeah, and I'm thinking, is there anybody else that I'm missing? I don't think so. Anyway, so Libra, welcome. Um, let's go ahead and open up this reading. There's quite a few different things, a couple different decks. I did bring out the clarifying love situations. Interesting deck. I haven't used it that much. Oh, that's pretty. But I'm starting to use it more and more. And whether it comes upright or in reverse, there's a message on either side. What's that say? Devotion blooms. Nurture both blossoms and thorns with tenderness. So, don't know if that rung out for anyone, but I think I'll use them somewhere in the reading. We, of course, are going to get Mother Mary's beautiful words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify and go deeper. For your main spread, we're going to use the Good Tarot, which is interesting. I had another deck in mind, but I just kept hearing Good Tarot, the Good Tarot. So I listened, and I'm going to use the Good Tarot. Romance Angels are also out in case love comes up. And we're also going to use the major arcanas. Okay, look at that. The Hangman in the Awakened State. Interesting. I'm like, should I leave it that way? I think I'm going to leave it that way. Um, and we'll see if it comes out. So let's slide everything over. Let's bring the lid down. And let's start with Mother Mary. Get her beautiful words of wisdom. I want to remind everyone we're in a universal year 9. You'll probably hear me say it for the first couple months. But I think it's important we know that. Universal year 9. If you remember that we run in 9-year cycles, this is the last year of a 9-year cycle. So you can think back from 2017. What have you learned? How have you grown? What have you overcome? It's really about, who you are today. And it's not about judging yourself, looking back like, what was I thinking? Don't do that. There's probably something you learned from it. Sometimes what we learn is simply what we do not want, which helps us with what we do want. So, I also think it's important to know your personal year number. Completely up to you. But an easy way, it's very easy. What you do is you take the day you were born. So I'll use my birthday as an example. I was born on the 13th of September, which is a 9. So I take the 1 plus the 3 plus the 9. And then I would add that. Well, actually, you can just add it all across. So, um, again, the day I was born, 13, 1, 3, plus 9, plus 9. For me, it equals 22, and that's a master number. It literally is the master builder, which makes sense because I have a lot of things I want to build this year, um, or I want to bring out to the world. So, if it ends up in a master number, which would be 11, 22, 33, 44, you don't bring that down to a singular digit. It just means you're in a master number year. But let's say it ended in like 23, then you would bring it to a singular digit. You add the 2 plus the 3, so it would mean you're in a 5 personal year. If that makes no sense, I have no problem helping you figure it out. Just leave the month you were born and the day you were born. No year is needed. That would be for your life path, but you wouldn't add a universal year to that. Okay, anyway. We got 2. Try to put those away. All right, we have Jesus. I pray for Jesus' help and guidance with this situation. Prayers, but prayers being heard. Inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. I feel like, when love goes wrong, where do we take it? Our inner child. When parents, you know, talk down to us or, say something that, um, they may not know it's hurtful, but to us it's hurtful. Our inner child. So that's why it's really important to, nurture the child within. All right, so we'll put those to the side. But we'll definitely know why they came out as we go further and further into your reading. So let's bring in the major arcanas. I'm going to give them a shuffle. What's interesting is before I begin any reading, again, I already know what decks I'm going to use, and I spend 15, 20 minutes just shuffling, but kind of with my eyes closed usually, and it's just my time to really meditate on you. Also, I've been using this Motivate that was gifted to me. That's really meant to open up your intuition even more. So I thought, well, let's give it a test. So I've been using it throughout the readings. And what I mean by that is just giving a little touch. 15 million years old. Believe that? And then I'm leaving it right on the laptop. So why did I do that right in the middle of a cut? I don't know. All right. If you're ready, Libra, I'm ready. We have the moon. Into your eye like a big pizza pie. That's amore. Why am I singing that song? We have the devil. So first of all, the moon is Pisces or Pisces major arcana. It is a ruler of Cancer. The devil is energy of Capricorn or Capricorn's major arcana. We have judgment. Judgment looking right back at the devil. And then we have the Hierophant. I'm going to give it one more shuffle, see if anything else wants to come out. And I'm saying that because I feel like I don't know why, but I always feel like this Hierophant is blessing something. So, well, blessing your wishes, your dreams. It feels like it ties back to Jesus. And it does feel like it's like a blessing coming true. It may take some human action, but it does feel like something that's coming true. Um, the stars mirrored by the moon could be something you've been waiting for. Judgment right in the middle right now, that is your spiritual team. Judgment calls you to the present moment. The reason why judgment calls you to the present moment is because that means there are signs. They are trying to guide you. It is about a new beginning with something. It does feel like a wish coming true, but also that wish being blessed. So I feel like God, Jesus wants you to have it. The moon kind of feels like maybe I had to wait, wasn't sure. Like, when is it ever going to happen type of energy. But I also noticed the judgment, again, your spiritual team, our spiritual team, is looking back at the devil's energy. So let's talk about the devil. Let's take Capricorn out of it for a second. The devil really represents temptations. And there may have been a period of time where, maybe you were just tempted to, let's just say, lower vibrational energy. And lower vibrational energy to me just means energy that, is not trying to evolve. Um, Not that you have to, but that's really what the soul's quest is all about. These adventures, these new beginnings. What can I learn? How can I evolve? What am I going to teach the younger souls when I leave this world, and go over to the next? And I always picture that like where there's a bunch of young souls just waiting for you to come home. Tell me about your experiences on earth. Some of us are going to say, well, I didn't have a whole lot. And others are going to be like, take a seat. Take a seat. I got some stories to tell you. This isn't about being ashamed. It's interesting because I feel like, interesting, I just said ashamed. I don't know why you'd feel ashamed anyway. Maybe that's what someone's thinking. It is like we have the light and the dark here with judgment in between. Now, I'm not calling Capricorn dark, but the meaning of the card is temptations, things that keep tempting you back. The devil's very good at casting illusions, and these illusions can make us feel stuck in place. A lot of times interesting, I just said the lovers. A lot of times in the devil's card, you'll either see the lovers who are being influenced by the devil's energy, which just means that they're not seeing things clearly. Something could seem not right, but again, it could be an illusion. I mean, we'll see. Or you'll see someone like in this cage, but the door to the cage is wide open, but the influence of the devil makes you feel stuck. Like, I can't move out of this cage. And usually the cage is small, like the person is bent over in it. But again, the door is wide open. It's almost like your spiritual team is saying that to you. Like, the door is wide open. You just need to walk through it. All right. By the way, so Pisces, Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, Aquarius. But don't worry about any of that because it can be any sign. I feel like mainly what this is saying is some of you have been waiting for something to come true. Maybe you've been praying for something to come about. And judgment being right in the middle of this spread so far, it feels like it's answering a wish, but also asking you, again, to bring yourself to current energy. Also to recognize if there's any energy that may not be so good for you that you keep feeling tempted to. Can I overcome it? The answer is yes. I'm not going to lie and say everything is easy. Sometimes it's difficult, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. All right. And it could also be a person. You know what I mean? Like a person I keep getting tempted to. We'll see. You know, the person in the Hierophant, which feels like a priest, pastor, like a religious figure. And it literally looks like he's blessing the star. And the person in the star is also looking towards the future, not towards the past. Judgment's looking back, but she's looking back at the devil. The devil's looking right at me. All right. I think I cut these. So let's go ahead. This is a big deck, so they're a little harder to shuffle. We have the Four of Swords. This is healing. It's healing those past wounds, healing that inner child. And, maybe it doesn't mean the healing is over, but it does feel like it's time to move on from something. I think like what I'm feeling is I can heal and still move forward at the same time. But we'll see. I feel like some of you are like, when is, I don't know. I kind of want to say, when is this pain going to end? All right, well, let's see. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Hangman. Interesting. And I think what I'm going to do is take 5 across. And then we'll come back and talk about them. We have the King of Cups. King of Cups can be of course, a water sign. We do have Pisces and Cancer here. Could also be Scorpio. But it doesn't have to be any of that. It could just talk about someone who, when the King of Cups comes in the upright, then I do feel like this is someone who wants to be in love, wants to have a partnership, enjoys partnerships, love. Some of you, I feel like you're like, when? Like, when? But the Hangman is here, right next to that. And there may be one situation that needs to end for a new one to open. And I say that because Judgment brings out the Five of Wands. Well, that is drama. That is a lot of ego. I have a feeling someone has been dealing with someone where communication was bad, hurtful, maybe even a little evil. Hmm. I'm hoping this is your past. Um, when you see 5, which really is right in the middle right now with Judgment, 5 is about change. So when you think of the Five of Wands, the first thing that comes to my mind is a lot of drama, is a lot of fighting. It's energy of nobody wanting to back down. And I honestly feel the only change I can make within the Five of Wands is not participating in it, not allowing myself to get caught in that drama. I do feel like there's been some hurtful communication, and it feels like it's you that's been hurt. But I also want you to recognize the Four of Swords is here. It's almost like your spiritual team is saying you may have um, gotten mixed up with someone who mm, I feel like naturally carries energy where they probably think about themselves first. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean in an egotistical way, like my way or the highway. But I do feel like something keeps tempting you back. And I feel like that is what your spiritual team really wants you to look at. You know, sometimes we wish for someone who we want someone to come in who's given us all types of trouble, ghosted us, talks down to us, makes us feel less than, always needs to be right. Kind of feels like a narcissist as I talk, right? Because I do feel that like this is someone. It doesn't have to be love. This can be in any situation, but it does feel like energy where like I'm right, but I don't feel like they are. But they're going to claim it anyway. And some of you, this is what you are overcoming. Some of you, this may be what you're trying to overcome. I feel like in the Five of Wands, there's that human action that I feel like our spiritual team asks for so that real wishes and dreams can come true. We have to know the difference between the light and the dark, so to speak. Who's coming to us with dark energy, and is that potentially holding off someone with light energy? Kind of looks that way. It's almost like judgment saying, you need to be ready. It's you who needs to understand that that you kept getting tempted back. Now, this could be someone who is very charming. Um, like I understand why I'd be tempted back because I feel like this is someone who could certainly promise the world but deliver none. Maybe in the very beginning. But I don't feel like there's anything here to save. Quite the opposite. I kind of love seeing this right now. Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups really talks about one, um, first of all, who was willing to look within their emotional house to understand these cups maybe with more clarity, especially if there was an energy you just been tempted back to and nothing changes. Nothing changes. So again, I have to be the change. I need to be the change that I want to see in my own life. This is someone who, temporary, yes, this is difficult energy. But it's interesting because it's coming under the Four of Swords. So as you were healing, I feel like you also were receiving clarity, understanding. It almost feels like you were pushed to the brink. But this is you coming out the other end. This person is heading towards the Nine of Cups, which is inner harmony, which is exactly what I feel is needed right now. Eight is also about a new beginning. But I do love that it's connected to the Four of Swords. So, where you have inner child, I feel like that may be part of what you've been working on. And I do feel there's great rewards for that. We have Page of Wands under the Page of Swords. This could have been uh, a younger time. Two pages connected. But that's a possibility. But let me tell you what I'm really feeling. Because the Page of Wands to me is a risk taker. This is someone who takes chances and doesn't let fear get in the way of that. They walk through the fear. I'm not going to say that it's completely fearless, but they walk through the fear. They seek adventure. And they know that, well, I feel like this is part of what you learn as you go along. Not every adventure I have seeked out works out in my favor. And, okay, so I fell down. I'm going to heal, but then I get back up again. So I really love the Page of Wands energy. We have the Seven of Wands. You're getting a lot of fire. And then we have the Hierophant. Interesting. So we have the Hierophant mirroring the Hierophant with the Hangman in between. It's almost like this king is also waiting. So there may be two people. They're waiting for a dream to come true. But I feel like until there's certain human action, I could just keep going around and around and around. I feel like I'm the one who needs to walk away. I'm the one who, because in the Five of Wands, I feel like whoever I'm fighting with in that energy, I don't feel like they'll ever say, you're right and I'm wrong. And if they do say it, I feel like they're saying it in an ignorant kind of way. Like, okay, you're right, I'm wrong, whatever. Yeah, bullshit. I want to say F you. Sorry, that's just how I'm feeling right now. Seven of Wands is about putting out, first of all, standing your ground. But, coming under the Five of Wands, I feel like there's no sense of standing your ground in that energy because I feel like you just won't win. You won't accomplish what you had hoped to accomplish. So again, I have to accept that. I have to accept that. I feel like there's no other way but to accept the truth. Not their truth, your truth. I also find it interesting again that the Hierophant's mirroring the Hierophant. Look at this, the Magician under the King of Cups, the Manifester. What do you want to manifest? What's mirroring the Star? Literally, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. When? Well, the Moon can certainly represent uncertainties, but I feel like Judgment is here to help clear things up for you. The Magician is mirroring also the Eight of Cups. So the moving on from an emotional situation, but with emotional clarity, at least enough. I don't need to know why every cup has been knocked over. Sometimes it's just free will. Sometimes it's very clear, you know. And here I feel like, I kind of got stuck in someone's web. And even if maybe I wanted something to work out, I just don't know how it could. I just don't know how it could. So I feel like your reading is about your a dream coming true, maybe more than one dream coming true. But how do you get there? How can we start this energy moving? Well, first and foremost, we have to look at the fives because that's where the change lies. So that Five of Wands, removing yourself from drama, removing yourself from, anyone who just has hurtful communication. I know why the inner child came out now because I feel like this energy has all been taken in the inner child, but also the ability to heal that. And I kind of love that healing is mirrored by the king over here. Who knows? Maybe similar situations. I find that all the time. This king is looking down at the magician. It's almost like if someone couldn't appreciate you, while there is someone who can. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Page of Cups. So that's your inner child again. A Page of Cups, it makes me feel like a lot of you have moved on from this energy, and more of you are in this healing energy now. Because the Page of Cups, it's learning to love yourself again, learning. And when I say love yourself, I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I just mean knowing that you deserve to live a happy life. And understanding that even the lessons, even the situations you've been through truly taught you something. Um, Here, I definitely feel I know what I don't want. I know the type of person I don't want. I wouldn't even say love yet because this can be family. But I do feel like there's also a connection to love or what I'd hoped was love. I don't feel like this king has come into your life yet. And when I say king, it could also be a queen. It's almost like you're being blessed with this person, and this person is being blessed with you. Temptation underneath the Page of Cups. All right, you know what I want to do before I bring out the Gilded Tarot is I just want to take just a couple of the clarifying love situation. I just want to take a few over the spread, and then we'll come back and use the clarifiers. But something's telling me to use them now, so I. Flight plan. Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. Sure. Do you think I was meant to pull that card? Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. There's a couple energies that I feel are going to take place for a lot of people in 2025, and one is a lot of people having spiritual awakenings. And part of having a spiritual awakening is you cannot deny the truth, right? The real truth. You can try, but I feel like you have tried, right? Like I do feel like you tried, but things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So sometimes things need to fall apart for better things to come in. Tender attentions. I haven't seen a lot of these cards yet. With care and concern, approach gently, nurturing with soft, kind gestures. Don't let someone else harden your heart. Don't let someone else cause you to put walls in front of your blessings. Be true to you. Know what you deserve. And I'm telling you, sometimes you have to go. Well, I just feel like sometimes one of the lessons is probably for an old soul, because an old soul would understand this energy, know, or would say, okay, I'm not going to allow myself to get stuck in here too long. Now, because we're also human, that's kind of what it feels like, the humanist side of us. But then once our spirituality and we believe and we trust, and even our prayers, it feels like are being answered. But judgment is like, but first we need your attention. First we need you in the present moment. And it feels like you're listening. Okay. So those felt right. All right. Let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. Let's go deeper. Some of you may wonder why I'm doing the readings early. I have some personal readings that I really want to catch up on. So I'm trying to get all the signs done. Um, so that you can have your reading. Because I know a lot of you wait, and I don't want to keep you waiting. All right. Eight of Cups. Look at the synchronicities we're seeing. Eight of Cups mirrored by the Eight of Cups, which is also mirrored by the moon. But it's all coming over the Four of Swords. Healing. And then moving on. I'm moving on up to the side. King of Pentacles. Well, we do have Capricorn right above. So, could certainly be. But also could be Virgo or Taurus. We also have double Taurus on the board. Doesn't have to be any of that, though. Here's the thing. I know the King of Pentacles very well, of all signs. I do read for a lot of earth signs. I read for a lot of different signs, personal readings I'm talking about. Um, but here's what I'm feeling with this king. This definitely feels like someone who would have no problem going silent. And I have a feeling they did. And then when they then reconnect, it feels like then it's all put on your shoulders, like, well, it was your fault. It's your fault I went silent. But that's not true. Well, it may be true, but that would be because they don't want to deal with the consequences of their actions. But that's what I feel. I definitely feel like someone just goes silent on you. And I feel like that is so mean, but yet happens all the time. Here's the thing. And it's not that I don't feel like you're even looking for it. But for some reason lately, I've been talking about how other people, like the people who are treating us not so great, how they will have their karma to pay, and they will. But you don't need to concern yourself with it. Yeah, I feel like that's not what your spiritual team would want you to concern you. It's like your spiritual team is like, we'll take care of that. But in the meantime, let's get you moving on. But we will take care of that. So, all right, we have the Six of Cups. And then we have the Four of Wands. Interesting. So this is the marriage card. It really speaks about a true commitment. I feel like this is true love. Doesn't mean it always lasts, but I feel like this is what you're looking for, a true commitment. You know, something that'll last a lifetime. But it's like coming over the hangman. And I want to say it doesn't feel like it's time yet, but I feel like you really have so much ability to bring this about sooner versus later. You know, it's like we have to take care of our stuff first. And I feel like this king, because we have these two eights of cups, feels like two people who had to move on, two people who had to heal. I do not think this is the same person who was tempting you back. I feel like this is someone you probably haven't met yet. Six of Cups is here, so you may have met them. You know, Six of Cups talks about happy memories, period in time, often related to like our childhood. So you may be hearing from someone from your childhood. You know, that's what happened to me. And now we live together. And it wasn't until I was 59 until it came about. But anyway, so I feel like this is the promise of what lies ahead. Oh, sorry about that. Knight of Wands, but he came in reverse. Slow down, you move too fast. Yet, I feel like it's the universe is saying slow down. Because this king is trying to manifest. I wish. A dream. It's passionate. I want it now versus then, later. That's what the Knight of Wands is, fast moving energy. But it's like the spiritual team is like, slow down, right? There is some work that needs to be done to really, let's say this is love, to give this the best shot possible. You know, because one energy just kind of doesn't fit with the other. So I feel like this is just a moment in time. But I do feel like that night will eventually flip over. You know, it's interesting. I don't know how many times I said this month, but I do feel like there's going to be people swept off their feet. And I mean that, well, the night carries a lot of passion and desire. And then coming over the King of Cups, well, that could be very romantic. Even the moon represents dreamy type energy. You know, it kind of feels like you and this king or queen both have some emotional issues you need to deal with, clear up, walk away from, understand that something may have kept tempting you back. Again, I do feel like for some of you, someone went silent. And to me, that's your answer. Because I feel like if someone just, boom, cuts off communication, like out of the blue, because they don't want to deal, well, fine, my dear. Then you're cutting me out too, because I feel like I'm not taking it anymore. I am wondering if this king is someone of your past. Let's keep going. We'll figure it out. 5 of Wands again. Over the Eight of Cups. Also mirroring the other Eight of Cups. Do I feel like these two people are dealing with similar situations? I do. They could be different. But to me, it means like one energy. How do I say this? I feel like one energy is meant to come to an end now. And it's like your spiritual team really wants you to face the facts, especially if someone has ghosted you. All right, well, let's keep going. Okay, well, that makes sense. First of all, that's your major arcana, justice. And it is about using the sword of justice. That sword is a gift that we were given, and that is to cut ties, even soul contracts. Maybe I had a soul contract with this person, but they weren't playing their part. Cut that contract. If it was a karmic lesson and you walked away, congratulations. Like, really, congratulations. So, justice is really about making you whole again. When you see justice, the first thing I think of is something is unbalanced. Well, it's pretty clear what's unbalanced. And that would be this other person. So, bye bye. Bye bye. And then look at this, the Ten of Swords. So, this Ten of Swords, first of all, that would signify to me a repeat pattern. And it's coming over this difficult energy of the Five of Wands. Again, fighting, not backing down. Someone who, it's my way or the highway, won't admit that they're wrong, won't give you an apology. And I know some of you really feel like you need it. But here's the thing, I feel like as you start to move forward from this, you're going to understand that you don't need their apology because you're heading to, well, wishes coming true. But your human action is a big, big part of it. So I feel like it's just a recognition of, you know, do I feel like things will get better? No, because things just keep repeating to the point of the Ten of Swords, Five of Wands twice. Ugh. Of course, I do kind of feel like that, like this king and you, king or queen, both probably similar type energy. I'm just going to say this because this might be for someone. There could be someone who knows about your situation. Maybe you are in a committed relationship with this person up here, but they're not acting like it. They're not acting like they're in a committed relationship. This king may know about that. It may be patiently waiting. It's almost like, again, your spiritual team is like, hang on, king, hang on, because she's just about to do what needs to be done. She's just about to use that sword of justice. She's about to end that pattern. And she's going to end it for life, for eternity. And there are great rewards for that. And again, I want you to think of this like from a spiritual being's point of view, which you are. And the spirit is our soul's intellect. And we always carry that. So if I look at this from a spiritual view, then it's very easy to see that I did get stuck in someone's web and there is not going to be change. Matter of fact, it just feels like it would be a repeat of what already was. You know, I may again come in, tell you what you want to hear, but then I'll go away again. I'll end up ghosting you because I don't feel like there's any change on their part. And I feel like that's what your spiritual team wants you to know. You know, they can't make you move on, but they can certainly make sure that you are feeling it, seeing it, to the point of even discomfort. So don't always feel that the discomfort is a bad thing. Sometimes it literally is your team trying to help you move on. So I feel like the Ten of Swords is just saying to you, if I had wished that things would turn around, that, you know, it wouldn't be the same old, same old. It's showing that it will be the same old, same old. So use that sword of justice, if you will. You know, Libra, let's face it, with your major arcana being justice, being unbalanced feels very unnatural for you. So how can we get you balanced? I feel like this is what your spiritual team is talking about. Three of Wands, beautiful. So I feel like this is now, I feel like you broke yourself free. This is an optimistic view of your future. But this is you doing exactly what your spiritual team is asking you to do, bringing yourself to the present moment. This is looking at life at all that can be, instead of looking at life as nothing but resistance. You know, when we get stuck in with this type of energy, it's very easy for them and even for ourselves then to bring ourselves to the point of thinking, you know, there are no blessings out there for me. But your spiritual team would tell you, but you have to take some human action to really bring this about. Like you got to be bold enough to know if you're being mistreated and it keeps happening. You know, your spiritual team doesn't want you in that state. They don't want you to have to deal with that. They're even offering the healing so that you can overcome that. But these fives are about you taking making human change. And look what happens when you do. It like just completely changes your mood. You know, Three of Wands is, I'm certainly putting my intentions out there. I know what those ships I'm hoping are carrying. But again, I'm putting my intentions out there and I'm just trusting in the universe that when the time is right, the time is right. Optimistic view of your future. This is saying to the universe, I know my ships will come in their due time. In the meantime, I'm going to be thankful for the things that I do have, even if they're little things. The sun came up today. I love that it's also coming over the Hierophant. It's like you're living life now according to your terms. your beliefs, which just feels like this is what, well, I'm not going to say that, I hate to say something wasn't meant to be because, again, it probably taught you really what you no longer want. Again, if let's say you start dating someone and then they go silent, I feel like immediately you would break it off at that point, right? Because you've been there, you've done that, and you have no interest in returning into that type of energy. I want true commitment, and I want it of the light, not of the dark. I don't want to fix anyone, right? I'm happy to help if it is going to help. But I feel like you probably tried, like many of us do, to fix someone when they just don't want fixing, or hope that they would be the way that you want them to be, but it feels impossible because they are who they are. Interesting how we now have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, what I love is we have the King and the Queen together. Even if the Queen's in reverse, they're still together. And I feel like this is talking more about time, the right time. Some of you, especially if you've been through this difficult type of situation, don't be afraid to be alone for a little while. Like, enjoy that freedom. No longer having to deal with that, number one. But also, give yourself the opportunity to think of, like, okay, how do I really want my life to look? And what can I do to bring it about? In this energy of the Three of Wands, again, that optimistic view, you are planting seeds. Then you're letting go of control. You know that the universe is picking up on them. In this energy, it reminds me of Mother Mary's one of her messages. I expect good things to happen, and they do. In the Ten of Swords, I expect bad things to happen, and they do. We can manifest out of light and dark, and we need to know that. So I feel like simply this queen is in reverse because it does feel like she wants a little time, she or he, a little time to smell the roses, enjoy this freedom, knowing that eventually the right person will come in. How can someone be that confident? Because of the action steps I've taken, because I've been listening to my spiritual team. All right, I'm going to go right below. Beautiful. The Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is your guardian angel. So, it's kind of like my sister Tracy. Um, the right spiritual advisor steps forward. This Knight of Pentacles has a few different messages. First, it is a slow moving knight, but it moves slow with purpose. The Knight of Pentacles tells you, I come at the right time. This knight brings you in a pentacle, and this pentacle is something that's coming into your physical world, and it truly is meant to enhance your life. But again, I come at the right time. Well, I don't feel like I come when you're surrounded by this drama, though you may want me to. But again, I can't step in between you and your free will. So when you're ready, then I'm ready. And he's also coming under that Eight of Cups. Look at this. Beautiful. I feel like this is you, like picking up on the signs. This is you. This is the name of this card is moving on. And you do have to look back one card to understand what you're moving on from. and that is toxicity. That's toxic energy all day long. And just the line that it's falling in, it makes sense. But I feel a lot of you, it's like you're picking intuitively up, or you're picking these signs up intuitively that, like, I gotta go. The Six of Swords is temporarily difficult energy, and that's just simply if someone is uncomfortable with change. But it really is the promise of moving to much calmer waters. Well, you're moving to the Three of Wands. Again, optimism after all this. How can you be optimistic after all this? Because you're putting it behind you. You're understanding it for what it really is. You're kind of taking you out of the equation because I feel like it's not you. It's just the way someone is. And then literally, it's like the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Pentacles, is like, I come at the right time. I can't come before. And you're like, okay, well, I want what you have. So I know that I've got to do my part. But I'm telling you, as you do, and as you move forward, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. Because it literally looks like you're moving from dark energy to light energy, from sadness to joy, to the impossible to possible. Two of Swords under that 10 of Swords, and then the Wheel. Well, hello, Destiny. So, Destiny is coming over the Hierophant and the Three of Wands, mirrored by the other Hierophant that also has the Four of Wands. True commitment, marriage. But it is coming over the Hangman. But I feel like we're getting closer and closer and closer. It lets you know that this next part of your journey is a destined time. To me, that means maybe some of these dreams were seeds that were planted maybe a long time ago, maybe even before you came into this lifetime. Again, I'm picking up that energy of like an old soul. And I say that because I feel like old souls do want, like, give me situations that I want to see if I can overcome them. I want to see, right? I want to evolve. I feel like you're going to be very proud of yourself, number one, because you do need to reclaim your power here, reclaim your voice. And it's not even to use against that person, because I simply feel the more I can just let this go, use that sword, that is a signal to the universe that I'm open to what's next. Now, you may not know that you're about to enter into a destined time. This could have been free will. And this is destined over here. What else I like is with the wheel, and it's coming in the upright, connected with the hangman, where there is a pause in the action. This king is like in a pause state, right? It's like I have all this passion and I just want to bring it in, but it's like, not yet, not yet, right? Got to make sure both are ready. But to me, now that the wheel was here, the Three of Wands, I feel like this night is, I'm just going to flip it over because I feel like it's a signal that this may be the right time now. Let's see if it comes under the reversal of this Queen. Let's see if she has any plan on opening her heart back up. And again, there's nothing wrong with like taking some time, enjoying life on your own, having some adventures, with friends or even on your own. It's like enjoying the things that you couldn't enjoy before. I even feel like I get up in the morning where before it's like, I don't even want to get out of bed. Now I jump out of bed, grab my coffee, and I start my day. But I start it in such a different way. Like, I'm excited for the potential of what the day may bring. Every year, it's like, I already know what the day's going to bring. Night and day. The Strength card. So I feel like this Queen is just saying, I just need the time to really understand what I've been through. Strength card is, it's like an inner battle, so to speak, but it's a battle that can be won. This is you. Well, I feel like in the Strength card, what you're doing is really getting to know you, getting to know the power you carry. When you've overcome something very difficult, you really end up with courageous energy, and you don't lose that. That's the thing. As we evolve, we don't lose the things, the lessons, the wisdom that we've gained. We don't lose that. So I don't feel like this Queen is like, no, I never want to be with anyone again. I feel like she just needs a moment. She just needs a moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then I feel like the day will come and she'll be like, okay, now I'm ready. Like, I've been through hell. Even Mother Mary is saying, learning to nurture that inner child. This king may have a little work to do to flip the queen around. So, you know what I want to do? I want to look right at them because I do feel like they have great potential. And you are the queen or the king. Doesn't matter what your sign is. I mean, that's just literally how I read. Of course, I give you the signs, but other than that, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Pentacles is normally, I'm learning. I'm building my life. But I feel like someone's still in that energy of learning and understanding. And then I feel like, and then building of what feels like a new life. Hello, Knight of Cups. Unexpected couple fulfillment. Unexpected. Hello, passion. Can't deny it. This is inspired action. That means your team is helping to guide you, I feel like, towards this other person, helping to guide both of you. to each other. Even though the Queen's in reverse. And there are some things I feel like she's trying to like figure out within her own life. I feel like this king just carries so much passion that, in a way, I don't know. Like, I feel like it'd be very hard to say no. You know, you can say no, though. You can just say, I'm not ready yet. I don't feel like it makes this king go away, though. I almost feel like this king knows who the king wants, and it's you. Some of you, this could be someone who reaches out of the blue. And I'm tying that back to the Six of Cups. But let me tell you the difference with this energy. This would be someone that you would have happy memories about. Doesn't even have to mean you're in love. Just means that you know each other. Could have been together. Because again, in the Six of Cups, when I think of that person, it puts a smile on my face. You know, I often feel, and I know I've done this in my own life, where, you know, you're connected to someone that you just know, right? You just know it's not going to work, or you just know like it's really has come to an end, or, you know, you're dealing with their drama or what have you. And then I feel like, you know, when I put my head on my pillow at night, there may be someone who comes to my mind. And not even that I'm saying that I want them, just they just may come to my mind. They may help me to fantasize about what life could look like. Could you be manifesting them subconsciously? Maybe. I say subconsciously, but I want you to understand that judgment that brought out the Six of Cups. Now, could also talk about past lives. I feel like these two are going to be together. I do feel like this queen just needs a moment. And I feel like she needs it because I'm saying she can be he. I just need a moment to understand what I've been through, why I've been through it. But also, I feel like ultimately what she'll figure out is the courage that it took to change her life. Then I think she'll be ready. And I love that the Ace of Wands is following the Knight of Cups. That does speak about love. It does speak about fulfillment, but it's also being guided. Action steps. This is passionate. It's definitely desirable. Doesn't mean I have to say yes. It could be very hard to say no because there's a lot of passion wrapped around this. That could scare the queen if she's not quite ready. But I feel like when she's ready, she's ready. So, do I feel like this king then will just disappear if the queen says, I need a moment? I don't. I feel like the king will understand. Number one, because I have a feeling this king has also dealt with similar energy. And I say that just because of the synchronicities here, you know, and the way that they're falling. All right, this feels like the perfect time to take out the romance angels. And let's just go right over this Knight of Cups, this Ace of Cups, the Queen and the King. The Four of Wands, true commitment, destiny. Like all of this is destined. Doesn't guarantee us, right? Because again, this queen has free will. She can say yes or no, and she may say no at first. But I feel like there's no way she's going to be able to deny the way she feels, the way this person makes her feel. But it can be scary after I've just dealt with this. How do I know? Because this person was probably pretty charming in the beginning, too. This is different energy. It just is. Playfulness. We keep getting a lot of cards about your inner child. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I feel like you haven't had a lot of playful energy every year. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Of course they're real. They're destined. This couple is destined to be together. I even like how it's starting, because sometimes then we get engagement. I was just going to say, sometimes we want things to happen, we want the ultimate outcome to happen immediately. And it doesn't happen immediately. It is about the journey, but the playfulness of this journey, the romantic feelings of this journey, and then we get engagement. Well, we have the marriage card right there. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, true commitment. That's the difference between this and this. Higher level of commitment, low level, high level, low. How low can you go? Well, hang on, baby. I'll show you how low I can go. How high can you go? We have no limit, my darling. We can go as long as we want. Oh my. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, could certainly be past lives also. And I say that because it really is the same image for past lives. But because we have the Six of Cups, I feel like, for some of you, listen, I feel like you're going to know who this is on a soul level no matter what. There definitely have to be soulmates. They are destined to be together. It doesn't guarantee it, though. That's the thing. They're destined. That means they have the opportunity. Will they take it? Maybe this king knows what's going on in your life, and maybe they were just waiting, patiently. Knight of Pentacles is all about patience. I mean, why should I try to make it anything else than what it wants to be? I feel like I do want to take Mother Mary now over this whole reading and see if she has any other words of wisdom for us. Now that we know what we know, that we know. Oh, quite a few. Watched over, one of my favorite messages. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over my loved ones and me. Prayer. Instead of worrying, I pray about this situation to bring about real solutions. That's what's happening. There are real solutions, but it does take your human action, devotion. As I fully commit to my values, relationships, and God, I am clear about what to do next. Don't forget this love is wrapped in light. It's just wrapped in light. And then last but not least, be strong. Be strong. This reminds me of the Page of Wands. I pull myself up and do what needs to be done. Also reminds me of you. I don't know. I don't know why I say I don't know. I do know. I'm very clear about this reading. Um, I just hope it's going to be clear for you. You know, what hurts my soul is I know some of you are still in this energy. Some of you still waiting for someone who's ghosted you to reach out. And, that has to be your prerogative. But yet, in the same breath, judgment is definitely, I feel like the main message is with your human action, you can start seeing some dreams coming true. But it does take you to be bold. But bold because, listen, you have merely this life to have these adventures. This is a romantic adventure. This is hell. This is heaven. Which do I want to live in? I know which one your spiritual team wants you to live in. I know where your soul wants to go. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there. Because I can just feel myself where I just want to even read more, but I don't want to make them super long. And I feel like the message is pretty clear. Um, and there are different messages, different people are going to be at different places within a reading. So sometimes you need to watch it twice. And I know that's a lot to ask when I make long readings. You don't have to watch it twice in a row. Maybe as you start to take human action, watch it again. Because I feel like this is really like your gateway out of hell so that you can start enter into your heaven on earth. It exists. It exists. Your heaven and earth exist. And it's right here. I love you, Libra. Thank you as always. Real quick, I do want to let you know, and I'm not doing this till I have all the signs done. I think I have two more signs to do. Three, Scorpio, Sag, and Capricorn. And then what I'm going to do is a video, um, where I'm going to do some giveaways. I've been blessed with a lot of items, jewelry, tarot cards, a lot of different things, that I would like to now gift to you. So I spent some time thinking about how I'm going to do it. And years ago, I don't even know if it was years, I did a series called Trust Your Intuition. And what I did with it is like I took 5 cards, and then the middle card I put face down. And that's why I called it Trust Your Intuition. So I did a reading and then ask you to comment on what your intuition was picking up for this card. Now, there's not going to be any wrong or rights. It's just whatever you feel. And then what I'm going to do, is put all the names in a bowl and pick some names. And then you can choose, like, I'll have a list of the items that I'm going to give away, and you can choose. Um, and I'm going to keep doing it because I keep getting companies who want to work with us. I had a company who has shapewear, and they said if I'd work with them, they'd give 10 of you a free pair. So I said yes. I don't wear them. I could use them, but I don't wear them. But I wanted them for you. So um, that's why I do these promotional videos, really, to be honest, is, well, I mean, I love that I get some things, but I also love to give to you. You've been giving to me for so long, and I am eternally grateful for each and every one of you. You are my soul family. Anyone new, welcome to our soul family. Um, so just keep your eyes and ears open. Again, it's when I finish all the readings. I have three more to do, and then we'll call it a contest or whatever. Um, I don't know. I'll let you know. Definitely make sure you have your bell rung. That's been one of the messages this month. The bell is right beside the subscribe, or at least it used to be. And when you subscribe, it automatically turns the bell on, but it turns it on for like a few notifications. If you tend to get all my notifications, that means your bell is rung. But if you get notifications here and there, then it's probably not rung 100%. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to do that is because I already feel that some people are going to feel like they missed out, but I feel like it's because they're not going to get the notification. Like intuitively, I'm picking that up. And that's why I'm talking about this, because I want everyone who wants to participate to be able to participate. So, anyways, it's just a way that I feel I can bless you. But anyways, Libra, I thank you. I love you. I shall see you next time at our table. Bye bye.